Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ankush here from Alif Consulting. Welcome in our Microsoft Sentinel video. In this video, we will be going to understand how we can connect data from Microsoft 365 Defender to Microsoft Sentinel. Well, here is the agenda of this video. So we're going to have a basic understanding about Microsoft 365 Defender connector. We're going to understand what are the prerequisites are there to connect Microsoft 365 Defender connector to Microsoft 365 Defender, how we can connect it, how we can connect incident and alert, and at the end we will be going to have a demo where I would be going to show you how you can connect Microsoft 365 Defender components to Sentinel, right? So let's quickly jump into the introduction. So as we know, Microsoft Sentinel is a SIEM solution which is a security, incident and event management. And Microsoft Sentinel have a Microsoft 365 Defender connector with incident integration allow us to stream all the incident alerts into the Sentinel from Microsoft 365 Defender portal and keep all of these incident synchronized on a both portal, right? So Microsoft 365 incident include all the informations like alerts and entities and the other relevant informations which is required to do the further analysis and the hunting, right? Microsoft 365 Defender connector have a lot of other component services like Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Identity, Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Microsoft Defender for Cloud App, and it do have Microsoft Purview data loss prevention, Azure Active Directory identity protection. So all of these components or component services is the part of Microsoft Defender, Microsoft 365 Defender connector. Now, if you only want to connect a certain services to the Sentinel, which is a part of Microsoft 365 Defender connector, you can do that as well. If you're connecting M365 Defender connector, it automatically going to pick or connect all of these component services. However, if you want to connect one or two component services in the Defender connector, that's something you can do separately as well, right? Now the connector which we are using is also let us stream advanced hunting events from all of above Defender component into the Sentinel, allow us to copy all of the Defender component advanced hunting queries into the Microsoft Sentinel and the Sentinel alerts with the Defender component raw event data to provide the additional insight and store the logs with increased retention in log analytics. Now what is the benefit we are getting here, right? When you are getting your all the events streamed into the Microsoft Sentinel, it's allow you to do the advanced hunting. It allow you to copy the all the Defender component queries into the Sentinel. At the same time, you can do further insight on your raw data. Plus, you are getting the increased retention in the log analytic to store the data for the longer period. Now, what are the prerequisites is there, right? You must need to have a valid Microsoft 365 Defender license. It should be E5. You must be assigned a global administrator or the security administrator roles on the tenant you want to stream the logs. Your user must have a read and write permission on your Sentinel workspace, right? So this is the basic prerequisites are there when you're connecting M365 Defender connector with Sentinel. Now other prerequisites for Active Directory sync via MDI, right? So you need to make sure your tenant must be onboarded into the Microsoft Defender for Identity and you must have a MDI sensor installed on the AADIP server. Now how you can connect it, right? So connecting the Microsoft 365 Defender connector with Sentinel is a pretty much simple and straightforward. We just need to go on the Sentinel. We just need to go into the data connectors, and from there we can select the connector from the gallery and we can connect and the further and we can grab the alerts into the Sentinel, right? So how we can connect the incident and alerts, right? So if you want to connect incident and alert into the Microsoft Defender, Microsoft 365 Defender connector, you just need to select the connect and connect incident and alert button into the into the open configuration page or open connector page, and from there you can select what kind of the incidents you want to grab it, or what kind of incidents. You would be able to see all those incidents and the alerts directly into the Sentinel, into the log analytic workspace, right? Now another option we have is the connect entities, which allow you to select what kind of or what kind of entities you want to use, or what kind of active directory you want to use for the Sentinel, right? So let's take an example. You have Azure AD, you do have on-premise AD, right? And you want to protect both of them using the Sentinel, right? You want to grab all security and incident alert into the Sentinel. For that, what you need to do, right? You need to go and you need to do the onboarding of the tenant, right? So onboarding a tenant is a something which only happen for the Azure AD. But if you have an on-premise active directory, you need to make sure you do have a MDI sensor, which is also known as Microsoft Defender for Identity Center sensor, installed on the server on the active directory, so that Sentinel can collect all of those logs directly from the server to the Sentinel to further hunting and the analysis, right? So let's quickly jump into the demo. So uh, in my demo, I already have a Microsoft 365 Defender configured. However, just to keep in mind, I would not be able to show you how your Microsoft 365 Defender connector connect with the Microsoft Defender 365 portal, because that M365 Defender required a E5 license, and E5 license is not available for trial. However, what I'm going to show you how exactly you can use the components separately. As I told you, Microsoft 365 Defender have a lot of components for identity, for the endpoint protection, for the cloud app, right? And all of those components can be connected separately uh, using the connector, right? So let's quickly jump into the SIEM. So you need to go into your SIEM solution to do the data connectors. You need to go into the data connectors. You need to search for Defender. When you search for Defender, you would be going to see there is plenty of options are available. So if you go into Microsoft Defender, Microsoft 365 Defender, you would see there are plenty of services or components which is included into the Microsoft 365 Defender connector. You can see it have an endpoint, it do have identity, it do have a Office 365, it do have a cloud app, it do have a Microsoft Defender alert, evidences, vulnerability management, DLP, and Azure Active Directory identity protection, right? However, you can also use all of these components separately. So like endpoint, identities, right? Office 365, if you go for the search for cloud app, you do have a separate connector. If you search for evidence, okay, so evidence does not have a separate, but okay, so loss prevention is also not have a, but however, identity protection should be having a separate connector, right? So all of this connector can be used separately also, right? So let's take an example. Let's go back into the configuration page and search for endpoint, search for Defender again, and let's go ahead and connect the cloud app, right? So if you want to connect my cloud app Defender with the Sentinel, you simply select the connector. When you click on open connector page, it will be going to validate all the prerequisites. You have a valid license, you have a valid tenant permissions. Then you can set the configuration. You want to only get the alert, you want to do the discovery logs also, apply the changes. Once you apply the changes, you just need to click on enable to create incident, right? And then as soon as that has been done, you will see your connector is successfully connected. Same way, you can use other also. You want to use Defender, Microsoft Defender for endpoint. You need to go into that connector. It's going to validate all the prerequisites. In my case, it does not have a license, so it will not be able to do it. However, if you have all these licenses are available, you just need to click on connect to the Defender, and then you can enable the incident, right? Let's go for the other one, which is the identity. I already have the the license valid license for this. So it's going to validate everything, right? What are the prerequisites? You need prerequisites are there, right? As soon as you get all the checks, all the green checks, just click on yes. I have connected Microsoft Defender identity to the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You need to just click on connect, and as soon as you've done it, it will be going to get connected, and then you need to click on enabled create incident recommendation, right? At the same way, you can connect Microsoft Defender for Office 365 also, right? You just need to go into the Microsoft Defender for Office 365. It's going to validate your licenses. If you have all the valid licenses, you will be able to do the further configuration, right? Now let's go for the Active Directory, which is the one of the connector, which is a part of Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which is the identity protection. You just need to go on this connector, open the connector page. It's going to validate your licenses. You just need to click on connect. As soon as you've done it, now it's collecting all the informations from Azure AD identity protection to the Sentinel, and then from here you can click on create incidents automatically for all the generated in this connector. It's automatically enabled, right? So that's how you can basically connect the connector, right? So if you go into the status, if you change it to the connected only, you would be able to see all the connect valid or the connected agents, sorry, connected connectors which are there, right? So as I told you, Microsoft 365 Defender do have a separate uh, components which we can use as a separately, or either we can only connect Microsoft 365 Defender connector to connect all of the component services which is part of that specific connector, because Microsoft 365 Defender is a unified connector. Well, that's it in this demo. I hope you like this video. If you like, please click on like and subscribe for more upcoming videos, and feel free to reach us if you have any questions. Thank you.